guys, this is Crafty Me. My name is Veerle and I'm absolutely new at this. This is my first tutorial. So yeah, I might make some mistakes. It's not my own language, English. My own language is Dutch, so I might make some grammar mistakes, but I hope you can understand me. Here I am showing you that I made a mini album from envelopes and I wanted to make a cover. The cover is made of a box of cat food. Now you can use any kind of box, like cereal boxes or anything similar. This had the right size for the side of the book because my album was a bit bulky. So for me this was perfect. I cut it in the right size for the album, and here I am trying to rip out some pages, cut them the white borders off because I don't want to have that in the inside of the album, the cover, because I think it doesn't look very nice. So I'm just cutting those off and I'm laying the sheets of paper next to each other, so I'll be gluing them down with Mod Podge. Now I'm speeding everything up because, yeah, it's boring to watch. And the video will be very long if I wouldn't, so that's not a very nice thing to watch. So here you see me glue everything down with Mod Podge. I realized that the page that I'm using is just a bit smaller than the cover, so I had to take another page. I glued everything down and I'm drying it with my heat gun. I love it. It just gives it a quick dry and you don't have to wait hours or whatever, minutes, 30 minutes to have everything really dry. So that speeds up the process, and yes, I am impatient when I'm crafting. So everything is covered, and now I'm cutting off the excess of the book pages because you want to have a neat look. So just cut them off and make sure nothing is sticking out outside of the cardboard, the cover. Now after cutting away all the excess, you might want to check the sides of the album to see if there's any corners that are loose and just glue them down. So what I'm doing here is I want to cover the album with a nice paper that I bought a couple of years ago at a craft fair. I'm making a mistake here because I'm trying to use Mod Podge, but the outside of the box is already a bit smooth and slippery because it has a coat on it. Plus the paper is not really flat. It has some thickness and creases in it. So I decided to do it with tape. And the tape, it works for most things. It's quite strong, and if you place it on the edges of the album cover, then the paper will stick and it will be fine. So I'm just trying to do that. I already cut the paper to a smaller piece, so I can just glue it on, like I'm doing here. And yes, that works much better. So I'm doing the same on the back side of the cover. Just, put some tape down. I'm not really measuring where I have to put it down, the size of the paper. No, I didn't check it because, I will cover it up with the lighter piece of paper that you see in the right corner. Because I wanted to have, the look that the old books have. They have the side of the book, the back side. They usually have a different color with the title on it and everything. So I wanted to make a similar image. So here I'm starting to preparing to put the lighter paper down. It's very important to do first the first part and glue it down, then fold the paper. Because if you lay your album cover open and everything is flat, then your piece of paper in the end will be too small when you're starting to bend it. So make sure you do it step by step. Glue it one side down, then put the tape on the second part that you want to cover with the paper. And before you glue it down, you fold the paper. That way, in the end, you won't end up with a crease or an opening between the papers. Now that wouldn't be too bad if you're covering it up with something, which I'll be doing later, but yeah. I know this works best, even if you want to use, want to open the book, and it just works better. So here you see me doing the last part, putting down the paper, the tape, sorry. I also had to cut down this paper because I didn't measure how long it should be, so I'm just, guesstimating it, what size I have to use, and luckily I guesstimated right. So here you see me doing the last part, taking the tape off, bending the paper, putting an extra strip of tape. So you see me bending it, and then again you cut away the excess of the paper. So make sure you have everything neat and there are no pieces sticking out, because that will look a bit less tidy, and you want it to look pretty. Now it is a vintage style, but still. So here I am using some StazOn ink, color brown, and I'm doing this because the parts where I cut the box and the paper will be having a light color, and I don't want that. I want it to have a shade of dark, so it looks really a bit dirty and vintage. So this is what I'm doing. It would also make sure that you see the cardboard and the paper, and it will make it more or less obvious that you use two things. So this way it looks more nice. So now I'm using a ribbon that my parents bought me, I think, also a couple of years ago, and I don't like the way that the line is there between the dark and the light paper. So I just want to make it a bit more pretty, and so I'm using this ribbon, and I thought it looked a bit classy, and yeah, so yes, and at this part my camera died, so I had to switch to the laptop and use my webcam. So you see the video is I didn't really zoom it in that much because otherwise you won't see anything, but now you can see how messy I am when I'm crafting. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, because we all know whoever is crafting, they have a lot of stuff laying around, so I shouldn't be too embarrassed, but okay. And I also have just a little tiny space where I can craft. I used to do it on a small table, sitting in the couch, but then I bought me a small desk, which I love, and now I have a craft corner. Maybe one day when I move to a bigger place, I can have a craft room. You never know. Dreams, dreams, dreams. So here you see me, what you just saw, you saw me gluing some ribbon on the backside, or I don't know the name, I should Google it. But then I put a light ribbon and a dark ribbon, and now I'm gluing some ribbons, and I want to make something look like a bow or something bulky on the side. So this is what I'm doing, and then I'm cutting the ribbons in the right size. Now I'm using some more ribbon because I want to hang some embellishments from the top of the book. So you see me using this dark ribbon, and in the end I will end up removing it because I didn't like the way it looked. It looks dark, but you cannot see in the video, but it didn't match the dark shade of the paper that it was on the front. So I just removed it again. So there you go. Ribbons are there. Cutting them to the right size. And here are the embellishments I want to hang. A clock, a key, and a butterfly. Now I'm not really happy with the way I tied them down and the way they were hanging, but I didn't really know how to do it, so next time I might try a different way to do the embellishments. But yeah, I learned from it, and it still looks good, so no problem. So now just trying to get the ribbon through the teeny tiny holes and tie them down. Maybe if anyone has a nice way of doing that, maybe you can leave me a comment and give me some tips. Because I'm preparing to make a notebook, and I want to cover the cover. I want to embellish it. So there will be embellishments hanging from the side, I think. So if you have any tips, please share. In another video tutorial, I will show you how the album looks like when it's totally finished and the actual album is in it. It is made of envelopes, and I made lots of pockets and things, so I will show you in another video. Here I am gluing down this metal keyhole, which matches the key that is hanging on the side. Still not happy with the ribbons, as you can see. So now, even more ribbons, because I want to be able to tie the book to close it while tying it in a bow or whatever, because it is really bulky and that keeps everything together. So I'm doing that on both of the sides with 2 different types of ribbon. Not very difficult to do, anyone can do this. But it looks very nice in the end. It has a really soft and vintage look. So there you go, ribbons are on. And here I still was not satisfied with that side of the of the cover, and I put another lace ribbon there. So this is the front side. Not very busy. I don't like very busy. This is the side of the book with the embellishments. So I hope everything is showing good enough in the video. That's the back side. And I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe I'll see you next time. Please leave me a comment. When you like this video, give a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye.